Hey guys, I'm Reader Not Found, and I'm back with another review. As you know, I review books on this channel in a calm, relaxing format that you can listen to in the background while cleaning up or when you are trying to fall asleep. I'm thinking of expanding to reviewing movies very soon too, so let me know if you have any suggestions. I'm a new YouTuber, so any feedback is welcome as well. Interesting Facts About Space is one of the best books I have ever read. I did not expect to finish it under 5 hours. It's just amazing. I have developed this newfound interest in sad, lonely women and everything that goes on in their heads. I think it started off with Circe, and Eleanor Oliphant is completely fine. I have not been able to stop since then. My recent reads, Eaten Abandoned or A Certain Hunger, and now finally, Interesting Facts About Space, are all about these women trying to navigate through life. I find them to varying degrees very relatable. Regardless, I found out about this book from the Fallon Book Club, and I cannot thank him enough. This book is like a paranoid mystery where our main character is quite a paranoid person who is somewhere on the spectrum as well as she is queer. I really liked the choice by the author to not just make it a day-to-day book, but she also added an element of mystery that makes the reader so paranoid while reading it. You are always on high red alert. It's quite a journey, quite a good mindfuck to read this book. Enid's character is so beautifully written, and I do not say this often about main characters, because main characters have to bear this brunt of being not likable enough. I think the main reason for that is, their most intimate thoughts, how they think, and then how they act, making them quite open to criticism. At least that is what I've experienced reading books, and Enid's character just is written so well. Emily Austen writes the character of Enid in such a beautiful prose. She is sad, she is kind, she's trying her best, and I think it is one of the all-time favorite characters that I've read about. On top of it, along with having so much personality, this book is hilarious. It is the kind of humor that is so subtle. It's not on your face, and it's not demeaning to anyone. It's just situations. What happens in those situations that is funny, that is written so well that you do not get bored at all. Further, the commitment to diversity in this book, whether it is with regard to sexual orientations of the characters, or gender diversity, or hobbies they have, or even just about something they eat, like the commitment to diversity, I adored that. It is a treat to read. Then, this book, as I said, is written so well. It's got so much heart, so much vulnerability. Enid literally carries her heart on her palm for the reader, not for the characters in the book. But to us, she's just laid open bare, and that is so enthralling to read about. You know her in the most intimate ways. You know she doesn't have a bad bone. Yet things seem to happen to her. I mean, this book is just so wholesome in the occurrences that occur, but parallelly, there's also this sense of paranoia going on. As we know, there's something definitely creepy and weird happening in her apartment. So these two parallels are taken forward so well that you cannot help but feel a variety of emotions at the same time. This book is easily in my top 5 of this year, and this year is like halfway done. But I know it's going to stay with me a long, long time, just because of how well written this book is. The book talks a lot about parental issues, which is something I almost always enjoy in a book. Parental issues are something not talked about often because, parents are supposed to be these two humans that are on your pedestal. You're not supposed to complain because no matter what, they've done their best job. But some parents do deserve some criticism. At the end of the day, Parents are humans also. They are subjected to criticism. Their choices do impact your choices as an adult as well. So the dichotomy of that and this sense of not essentially blaming them, but introspecting what went wrong in your childhood is very close to my heart as a theme. I've enjoyed it in I'm Glad My Mom Died, in Eleanor Oliphant, so naturally I loved it here also. The book talks in depth about Enid's relationship with her mother, her father, how both the relationships differed, how now she's a parent to her mom, while how strained her relationship was with her dad. So these two parallels, again, are so well written because Enid turns out to be the way she is because of these childhood experiences. That is very well portrayed in the book. Adding on that, I'd really like to mention how she keeps sending these space facts to her mom. That's such a cute thing. While you're reading this book, and you realize that she's doing it to reduce her anxiety as well as her mom's, and she keeps on checking on her mom out of guilt. I also liked how the author layered this book. You simultaneously feel anxious because at the end of the day, a lot of people in this book are anxious to varying degrees. You feel bad for some characters, and you relate to a lot of characters. The author has managed to put in quirks and habits into many of her characters. Basically, sprinkled your soul into her 20 characters. You end up relating to some. You end up thinking of being like some. And at the end of the day, all it does is make a delicious soup of characters and events. So the layering of this book, and paralleled with the amazing plot and its ongoing mystery, is, I would say, a very unique premise that I enjoyed thoroughly. It was an instant 5-star read for me. I knew at the 20% mark that this is going to be a hit. Another thing I really, really like about this book is how much personality this book has. This book embodies a personality of its own, and in addition, gives so much personality to its each individual character. So almost all characters have these quirks, which are so interesting, which just exist to add so much value to the book. It is not something you think is going to lead to the solving of the mystery. It just exists. And I found that to be so humble and down to earth, because a lot of people are like that. We pick up something from our childhood, and we get into that, or a cartoon character that we like, and it just stays for the rest of our life with us. And it maybe doesn't have any consequence on our personality or on our actions, but it is just a part of us. And that is so well done in its book. For example, if I take Enid's example, there are so many amazing qualities to this girl. She is a fan of SpongeBob. She is half of hearing. She's a lesbian. She has a phobia of bald men. And she works for NASA. And my favorite part was her cringe YouTube videos that she put out as a teenager. All of these add so much to Enid's character and the way she watched her YouTube videos as a way of masochism. I mean, this book just outdoes itself every single time, every page you turn, and you'll see why she's like that and why she's doing what she's doing. And then you'll be introduced to a new quirk she has. My likeness for her YouTube quirk is seconded only by her listening of crime podcasts. Now, I, as a person, am a huge fan of true crime podcasts and just anything true crime in general. And this girl, let me tell you, she listens to true crime podcasts to soothe herself. And that is the realest thing that I've ever read in a book. They are so soothing. It's like a feeling of control that is so well defined in this book. That if you can anticipate what the danger is coming, you're less anxious. And I just related to Enid so much in that moment. So yeah, crime podcast aspect to this book was absolutely amazing, coupled with her fear of bald men. And I was just flat for this book. Now, What I attribute to my liking of this book the most is that I went into this book completely blind. I had no idea what this was about. I was honestly halfway ready if this was actually going to be about space and interesting facts about space. Like Jupiter has 62 moons. I was ready for it. And then this book hit me like a truck. It was an experience. It was unexpected in the best way. It has some amazing characters that will not leave your hand till you finish the book, and maybe even after that. I mean, ever since I finished this, I've always felt, like Enid is just right beside me. There's a lot of gay panic in this book, which I actually found hilarious and to some extent relatable, because there are a lot of times when you question yourself, and Enid's doubt and introspection in those moments is amazing to read about. I could not stop reading this, and I believe that is the best compliment you can give a book. In one scene, a mother watches the cake rise, and I found that to be so interesting, because that is how I was with this book. I could not keep it down. It was like I saw her rising, and I saw this beautiful desert in the making. And even though that is a very bizarre analogy, you will get it when you read this book. You cannot take your eyes off of it. And the last thing that I liked about this book is at the end of the day, it's just a compendium of short stories as to how every human is struggling. Everyone is trying to lead their lives in the best ways possible. We are good people. We can be bad people. There's a lot of gray area. It's a huge spectrum, as most things are, which is something I liked about this book, is a lot of gray area it talks about in almost all things. In its commitment to diversity, it has talked about all genders, all sexual orientations, your food choices, and everything. How it's a gray area, and how, at the end of the day, it boils down to the individual who is exercising their right to it. But yeah, at the end of the day, this book turns out to be this piece on, just be kind to everybody. You don't know what other people are going through. And that is what I liked about Anxious People also, because at the end of the day, it's also about the same theme as to everybody is struggling. Just be kind. Just be normal. As Polly would say, this one wormed its way in my heart. Thank you for listening. I'll be back with another review soon. If you enjoyed this review, please leave a comment. If you enjoyed this